Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Laura's Stamping Therapy. I am hoping to finish up some of my Christmas cards. I have a few to be able to show you guys today and finish up so that hopefully I can get them sent out. I really want them done by this week. I just have like a handful left. But I feel like it's one of those like daunting tasks, and it's the last few that feels so overwhelming, and I can't wait to mark this off my list. So I thought I would go ahead and show you guys all 5 of these cards. These are all using the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper, which I know it's actually all sold out, but that means there's a chance that a lot of you guys maybe already got this paper. So here's some inspiration on how to use it then. So I actually did one of the slimline cards. This one actually fits in a business size envelope, kind of just plain on the inside, perfect for money or just for something different to do for Christmas. But you can see I used that giant piece of the Designer Series paper in the tree. Now I will say there was some strategic cutting for this, and you can't get a lot of this exact print. I think I was only able to get 8, 7, 6. I think it's 8 because I think there's 4 trees on one sheet, and then there's 2 sheets. So I think it's 8. 8 of this one with some leftover paper that I used in other projects. This one is super cute. It actually only opens in that center section. So like that. And again, I actually used a piece of the designer paper, and I just used a small section of it. There was like a big tree that's next to this one. Here's the leftover paper. So you can see the tree actually lines up right there at the top. And I didn't use the big tree. I just used the little trees next to it. And again, there's only 8 of these, but you still have the big tree to be able to do something fabulous with. And then I have these 3 cards, and these 3 cards I'm actually going to show you how I did them as long as I have enough time with the kids napping. So some of the pieces I've already done some stamping, but I do want to show you how I created this amazing Northern Lights look with this piece of designer paper. So let me get a piece of scrap so that I can place this down, because I actually did it on my black tablecloth, and it almost made my tablecloth look white in the spots that I got extra like ink on. So whoops, didn't mean for that to happen. But yeah, so you can see that this paper has that fabulous foil for some trees as well as some snowflakes. Super gorgeous. And I actually used the blending brushes, and I used Pool Party and Misty Moonlight. So we're going to start with the Pool Party. I actually used this for green towards the end of last week for Brad's birthday and making some turtles. So I just wanted to make sure it was going to run off clean. So my tip for this is to start off of your project. So you want to start like on your scrap paper and then work your way in. And I like to work in like a circular motion. So I'm going to place it down on my scrap and then swirl in. And I'm doing like up high and like down, I would say about halfway. And it's kind of one of those techniques that's not, it's not super my favorite, because I tend to be a little heavy-handed and I want like darker, more obvious reaction. And so I'm like, I don't say anything, and I just want to like pounce more ink on like crazy, but have some patience, Laura. It's there. Like you can see my little like shape here. You can see how ever so lightly it is blue. And again, you can go as light or as dark as you want. but it's just a subtle sky. And then now I'm actually just going to take the same brush. I have two brushes. I just don't know where they are right now. Oh, wait, here it is. So I will take my darker brush, and I feel like there's some fuzz on there. And take the Misty Moonlight. And again, I'm going to start off, but I'm going to stay like just at the top. And I'm not necessarily going to do a circular motion with this because I just kind of want to stay like dark. And if anything, I really want that like that edge of the cardstock at the top to be like real dark. So I almost want like the end of the cardstock, if cardstock has an end, you know, like the top, I want that to be like the darkest. Okay, and then if you want to go back in and get more of that lighter blue in there to kind of meld it together, then you can. And then you have that fabulous sort of Northern Lights look to that. I then stamped the greeting Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas in the Misty Moonlight, and I just stamped it directly to the paper. I feel like that greeting is on the clear block with a little bit of swag. Okay, I think that one's a little bit better. You could also do a super skinny greeting down low here in this white spot down here too. So that's kind of, you know, personal preference. I used the Snowflake from that same stamp set. Let me grab the stamp set for you. It's the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. So I used the Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas as well as the May Your Season Sparkle. I really like that greeting, the May Your Season Sparkle. I just find it to be super cute. And then some of the snowflakes. I had the snowflakes in the two colors, Misty Moonlight and Pool Party, on opposing corners. And then the greeting there in the center. You could really kind of mix and match it up with a lot of different options for that. With some of the bigger snowflakes or like the littler ones or things like that. So that I simply added to a Misty Moonlight card base. So now while I do some mundane things, how was everyone's weekend? I hope you guys had a good one. I know we had a nice relaxing Saturday, and then on Sunday we went to my mom and dad's and made Christmas cookies, and it was super fun. It is my favorite holiday tradition, is doing Christmas cookies. Like right now I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't really care what happens with the holidays because like we did Christmas cookies and I'm happy and that's over and everything. Also, I have to say that the peanut butter blossoms that we made, which are like those peanut butter cookies that you put the little kiss on the top, we made those, and I don't know, but this year they turned out phenomenal. We only brought home a few, and now I wish we would have brought home all of them, and I feel like I need to make some more. Like, they're like chewy and soft and yummy. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm not going to say how many I've already had today, but they're almost gone. So super simple stamps, ink, and paper for this card. Sorry, I totally was like pounding on the table and shaking the camera. But yeah, super simple card to use with the designer paper and just adding some ink. So yeah, let me know, what is your guys' favorite Christmas cookie? And I always find it so funny how everybody has a different name for stuff. and yet it's all the exact same thing. And I have 2 examples, and I want to hear what your guys' take is. Look, this one I actually did really dark. I got a little heavy-handed in wanting to get the color to show up. And of course, I'm going to run out of adhesive. The first thing is, I will say what I've heard it called, and then I'll tell you like what the ingredients are, so that then you can tell me what you guys call it. I've heard it called 4-layer cake. I've heard it called lush, and I've also heard it called Cool Whip cake. And it's the cake that kind of has like the pecan flour like crust, and then the cream cheese Cool Whip layer, and then a pudding layer, and then Cool Whip on the top. So let me know if you've had it, what your favorite pudding flavor is, and what you guys call it. So my mom actually always used to make it with like a vanilla pudding, and she used to put a can of cherries in it. But Brad's family calls it 4-layer cake. Oh, and when we used to make it with the cherries and stuff, we used to call it Cool Whip cake. And then Brad's mom and dad and him all call it 4-layer cake, but I've also heard it called lush. And they always make it with chocolate, no cherries. So it's always chocolate pudding and no cherries. So that's Brad's favorite dessert that we always make him for his birthday. Of course, we have modified it a few times, added like some chocolate chips to the top and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know. Have you ever had that? And what do you call it? We'll see if we can get a consensus on everybody calling it the same thing, perhaps. You never know. That could be a possibility. Okay, so now I have 3 more cards in my stash for that one. The next one I have to share is this one here. So this one, I used just jade and shaded spruce. So shaded spruce I felt like was that like perfect extra like slightly darker tone of a green. I added the designer paper across the front, and then I added a little bit of that just jade ribbon with the gold. So this sheet of designer paper, I actually used the non-foil side. It was hard. It was very hard. I just feel like it should be the foil side because it's so pretty. And I used a little bit of tear and tape to hold the ribbon, just because I find it has a nice strong hold, and like it kind of presses into the ribbon a little bit for like a smoother look. And I used thick basic white. So, whoa, I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive around. And then the other dessert cookie item that has 1,000,001 names. So we've called them white balls. We've called them Russian tea cakes, wedding cakes, pecan dainties, and even at a class recently, I heard them called snowballs. And that's those little white ball cookies that have powdered sugar around them, and they're kind of like a little melt in your mouth, like pecan flour sugar cookie. So yeah, let me know what you guys call them and if you like them or if you've ever had them. I can't say I'm the best at making physically the Christmas cookies because I tend to make them big. And my mom is all about making them like super small and dainty and everything. But that comes from her aunts, which would be my great aunts, even though we just always called them the aunties. But those ladies, they were not twins, they were sisters that lived together. They used to weigh out their cookies on a scale. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, anytime we make large cookies, my mom's always like, oh, the aunties are going to be mad. They have passed. So I haven't had a cookie from the aunties in forever, but they used to make these really fancy cookie trays and everything with their, and I'm out of adhesive again, with their little delicate cookies. So this card, I added just a little bit of gold. You can see, like I just did the little like edging like that, just as like a little extra foo-foo to it. The awesome thing about this is it pulls the gold from the ribbon, and it's just a small piece. Like I'm telling you, you could like die cut or punch out from a piece of the gold foil paper, and then you have that extra trim, and you just cut like a little piece that's like a 1/2 inch by 3 inches, and there you go. How perfect is that? So you don't have to throw away all those scraps. And I know I probably shouldn't say that, because if you're anything like me, you've literally kept every single scrap in your life, and your entire house is filled with scraps. But see, you can use it for projects like this. Yes, it does make me very nervous to stamp directly onto the card like this, because everything's already put together, so I can't make a mistake. I mean, I can. I would just have to embellish differently, right? That's why we embellish, is because we're fixing the card. I'm not going to say covering up a mistake. We're fixing it. That's all. And apparently I don't have more cards for this. I will probably find it just as soon as I get off here. And I'm going to wonder what these card bases are for. So yeah, let me know if you guys have ever used any of the names that I mentioned. And we'll see if you have a different name for it, or if there's a consensus of which one it might be. So if you're just jumping on, let me know if you call it Lush Cool Whip Cake, 4-layer cake, or what you might call it. And then the little white balls, let me know if you call them pecan dainties, Russian tea cakes, snowballs, wedding cookies. And I mean, I don't know if any of those names are right or wrong, but it doesn't matter. Oh, and I guess I only needed one. But I do need more gold. So, for example, look at this piece of chaos. Like, it's a mess, and it probably should have just been thrown away. But I am going to cut and make that straight. And then I'm going to cut 1 and 2. And look, I got 2 pieces from right here. I probably could almost get 1 along there, but I don't think I need a 3rd one, do I? No, I don't need a 3rd one. And I think these are a little bit smaller than the others, so I'm not going to do a super angled cut. Just a little small cut. So there you have it. I did stamp on the inside, and I just used this stamp set, Banner Year, and that's where the Christmas wishes came from. And then I used this little image right here for the corners. But for this additional tree that I have here, I used the Mountain Air stamp set. So it's not even a Christmas stamp set, but I used the Mountain Air stamp set for that double. And then I thought, well, I could always use the single too and decorate. So you could always put the tree on the inside or however you would like. I don't normally do like 3 cards at the same time on one live, but I just have a little bit of basics for each of these cards, and I'm telling you, I really am hoping to get my Christmas cards done. I think 130 have gone out in the mail. And I'll be honest, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on from Christmas cards and move on to spring is what I really want. I'll save a little and do some winter. But yeah, spring is what I'm dying to do. And there's new stuff coming out with the mini catalog. The January to June mini catalog and celebration, and I have those items and I can't wait to play. I feel like that is not going to super fit, so I'm going to go a little diagonal. Also, it was just announced today, but this Wednesday, Stampin' Up! Is having free shipping all day, 24 hours, for orders of $50 or more. So, get your orders ready. Get your wish list sent out to friends and family in case they're still looking for that perfect gift to get you. And I think I'm going to probably have to die cut these later because I'm not sure where the die went. But yeah, then the little trees just go off on the left-hand side, and I added those with some dimensionals to really pop that up. Okay, so that is card number 4. Have to finish those. And then the last one is all gray. I mean, not to make it sound like super drab or anything, because I do think it's gorgeous with its glitter and shine. You can see that this side has that designer paper with the foil. There's some rhinestones. There's the iridescent snowflake, some embossing for some texture, and then the Merry Christmas on the inside. So I just kind of bumped the score lines over to be able to get this, because this is just a regular card base. But instead of folding in half and folding over, I just scooted that fold over and then folded to this side as well. So let me get the ruler and I'll tell you the exact measurements of this. So again, the basic gray is a regular 5.5 by 8.5. And then I scored at 2 3/4 for this panel. And I scored at 7 for this panel. So 2 3/4 and 7. And then these just fold in. And you can always move that wherever you want, as long as this center is 4 1/4. So like you could make it equal on both sides, which is like a gatefold card. You could also do, the little bit on this side and make it open wider on this side, like this. So all you have to do is just make sure to find your 4 1/4 and then score on either sides of that. And I have a few of these. And here's that one piece of thick white that I said I would probably find somewhere around here. And there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to fold on these lines. Add my designer paper. So it's got that cute check pattern on the back side. And this was embossed with the Tasteful Textures, or Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder. It is so perfect because it's just like a random like texture. There's no like elegance or playful or anything. It's just bumpies. And so I feel like it matches like so many different options and everything. And I love that. Here's our little centerpiece of Whisper White that measures 4 by 5 1/4. One of the other big things I want to mention to you guys is Friday is my first online class, and I am excited and a little nervous. I know you're probably thinking, why are you nervous? You stamp with us all the time, but you know, whoa, my score lines are not correct on this one. I'm going to have to do that one differently. No, this one's good. My score lines are off because this center area is bigger than 4 1/4. So, oops, not sure what I did on that. But yeah, I'm super excited. The video class is free for everyone, so you guys can all watch. It is Friday at 7:30 in the evening. Central Time, and I am pumped. Mostly because the cards are phenomenal, and I can't wait to do them with you guys. Like, I've played with them so much, and sometimes, like, the more I play with the card, the more I, like, kind of get burnt out, and I'm like, okay, I'm tired of this. No, I love it so much, and it's so beautiful. Okay, so now I'm adding a little bit of tear and tape, 2 little strips, not all the way to the edge, but all the way to this edge. And this is just what I'm going to press my ribbon into. And again, I just find that tear and tape is good for like pressing into because it like holds tight. And it has like some give to it instead of just being like a flat adhesive. So I'm just kind of using my nails to really like press it in. And then we're going to trim off the other end. I don't have the piece of white for this one. I have so many random pieces. But that's okay because I can still finish it and then just add that white piece later. But yeah, all the kits are actually sold out. So I don't have any more kits left over for the Eden's Garden class. I do still have the PDF tutorial available for sale though. I will also be revealing the kit that will be in January for the online class. And again, this is why I'm super excited to be done with Christmas cards and move on to the next exciting activity. Okay, so I'm just adding a little dab of adhesive to the center of the snowflake because the greeting's going to go over the top of it and it's going to hold that snowflake on. So I'm not really that concerned about like super duper getting that snowflake adhered down. The other thing is thank goodness, because I don't want to have to do all those little delicate areas. And then I used the layering circles and did this cute little scallop. And then I used the Let It Snow. I did in full strength basic gray. But then do you see those little snowflakes in the background? Just ever so slightly. They're very subtle. And I stamped off twice. So like I inked up my snowflake, inked it up, stamped onto scrap, and then stamped onto this label. So this is stamp number 3, and I wanted it to be very light and very subtle, which is why I stamped off twice. And that is just going to go right in the center. And then, of course, I need to add my little rhinestones. Just for a little extra bling. Super, super cute. Let's see. This one still needs the greeting and the rhinestones. And this one, I'm going to do all the rhinestones over in this area so that I don't forget the rhinestones, but I still need that white piece. Or do you think it doesn't need the white piece? Do you like it blank or do you like it with the white? I find it's a lot more bold with the white piece and stands out a little bit more. And I like the texture. You could also put a strip of designer paper on that side too, on that right-hand side. So that is the 5th and final card. I hope you guys are inspired with this Peaceful Place Designer Series paper. And I'm just pumped to be able to have more cards to send out for Christmas. Like I said, I really hope to get those all sent out and done this week. I hope to be on a lot more. I know last week was crazy with the first week of December. Claire had her Christmas program at school, and it was Brad's birthday, and I don't know, and I had class last week. Last week just got away from me. So I hope to be on more this week. Of course, I'm on today, and I'll be on Friday for that stamp class with all of you guys. And then don't forget, free shipping on Wednesday, December 8th, 24 hours only. Free shipping on $50 orders or more. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Happy stamping. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you guys. You mean the world to me. Have a great day. Bye.